Rolling.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Lenny V from Friday Night Vinyl.
And Ed Majeski for Friday Night Vinyl. And as always, Friday Night Vinyl is brought to you by Red Solo Cup and the magic that's contained within.
It's Sunday. We're doing this on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So anyway, we thought we'd pop in and do a little Ace Frehley tribute since he passed away this past Thursday. We're doing this video on a Sunday. So we figured we'd do our top 10 Kiss songs and top 5 Ace Frehley solo stuff, and just talk about Ace a little bit and his influence on people in the music industry going forward.
Yep,
and stuff like that.
and from the Friday Night Vinyl world, hopefully Vinny Buttafuoco, Vinny Salvia, was able to greet Ace when he first got up there.
Yeah.
And we may have guest appearances from a couple dogs. That's because it's...
Yeah, Vinny was a big Ace fan. Yeah.
Yep.
So this one's for Vinny too.
So the other thing here is, my list is kind of rough. He was more the Kiss fan.
Right.
And then Lenny,
explain what we're doing first. We're doing our top 10 Kiss song list, our favorite top 10 Kiss songs,
right.
And then we're going to do our favorite 5 Ace Frehley songs that were either with Kiss or solo. I just limited to songs that he either written or sung as a member of Kiss, but Ed went a little further with it. But whatever.
I went my favorite Kiss songs, and it was limited, so it's not really a true list because some of my favorite Kiss songs came after
I'm talking about the Ace
Frehley era.
Your Ace Frehley list. I'm talking about.
Right. So let's do the Ace Frehley list first because it's short.
You want to do the Ace Frehley list? Okay.
Yeah. And if you want.
Okay. So basically, not a non-Kiss fan. Ace, he wrote some songs, but the first song he actually sung as a member of Kiss wasn't until their 4th studio album, Love Gun. The song Shock Me. Okay, but he did write different songs, but other people sung them. But wasn't until their 4th album. So my list consists of my top 5 Ace Frehley as a member of Kiss, and either he wrote or sung these songs as a member of Kiss. Nothing solo, nothing Frehley's Comments. I'll mention a couple Frehley's Comments songs that I like, but so I guess let me start.
Go ahead.
Let me start. So number 5 for me is "Shock Me" off of Love Gun. It was the first song that he sung, and that's why I put it in here. I like the song, but it's not my favorite, but it's got to be at least in my top 5 because it was the first song he actually sung as a member of Kiss, so that's why I have it at number 5.
So I took this list a little differently as something that Ace Frehley did in his career. And I also learned something, which we'll get to by song 2 for me. So my number 5 Ace Frehley is "Something Moved" off of Frehley's Comments, first album.
Okay. My number 4, now Ace wrote this song, it's off the first album, but did not sing it. It's "Cold Gin." Obviously Gene Simmons sung this song, but it was an Ace song,
right.
And that'll be number 4 for me.
And that's number 2 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what's your number 4?
my number 4 is "Breakout Yes," also on Frehley's Comment.
All right, so you're doing his solo stuff. I'm doing him just as a member of Kiss.
Well,
Okay, all right, okay. So my number 3 is "Strange Ways" off of the Hotter Than Hell album, their second album. It's a kick. It's the last song on the album. It's a kick-ass song, and he's got a great solo like in the middle of the song. And Kiss fans out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's an awesome song. But Peter Criss sung this song on the Hotter Than Hell album, but Ace wrote it.
All right, so my number 3 song, and then I got something to say after this, is "Calling to You," also on the first Frehley's Comment.
Okay.
So I know we're going back in a long time, and it's many years ago. I kind of thought Ace Frehley was going to be the lead singer of Frehley's Comment, and I was never interested. But it was Tim Howarth, and
Ace did some leads, but mostly it was...
Yeah, and I'm like, these songs are really good. I mean, they were good. I guess it was 80s metal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. He left the band in
Right.
like 81 or 82,
Right.
whatever it was.
And the guy who I befriended on Facebook, John Reagan, was the bass player. And later on, Richie Scarlett, who I used to see before he was ever in anything, at the Galaxy, and Richie Scarlett and the Seducers, they used to open up for Cinderella all the time.
Okay.
But I was really surprised. I'm like, I may have to get Frehley's Comments first album because the 3 songs that I heard here.
All the
these
solo
were good.
stuff's pretty
Yeah.
decent. Yeah. Okay, so my number 2 is a song called "Save Your Love" off of Dynasty, or if Paul Kazimierz watched it, to you it's Dynasty. It's a really good kick-ass. It's a really good kick-ass song. It's off the, like I said, it's off the Dynasty album, and it's my second favorite.
Is that how they pronounce it?
In Australia, they pronounce it Dynasty.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Paul, you can call us later if he's wrong. So my number 2 is Cold Gin, which we already discussed.
Well, my number one song, as you know, as Ace is a member of Kiss, that he wrote, did not sing, is Parasite off of Hotter Than Hell. Great song.
My number 1. Parasite.
Okay.
I forgot all about this song, and then when I started collecting vinyl again, I got a lot of the Kiss albums because of him.
Right.
And I listened to them, and I'm like, wow, I forgot all about this song.
There was a couple like '80s metal groups that covered Parasite.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of them off the top of my head. But also on one of Ace's like later solo albums where he did the covers, Origins Volume 1 or 2,
right.
whatever one it was. He redid Parasite with John 5 and they went back and forth playing lead on that. That's a great. Oh my God, that came out so good.
So now the top 10 Kiss songs, and for me, I just did this I did it in my order, but it doesn't necessarily tie with Ace Frehley, other than it was during the Ace Frehley era.
Right. Basically, that's my list too. My list is as Ace was an original member of Kiss. So these are no songs from the like mid '80s or whatever when Ace wasn't with the band. This is only songs when Ace was actually played.
Which for me took 4 songs off the Elder that I wanted to put on.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that. Yeah.
I kid.
Okay.
So number 10. I'll start off number 10, and this is probably one of the first Kiss songs I ever got into in my life because I had the album. Probably the first Kiss album you ever listened to too.
Dress to
Off
Kill.
of Dress to Kill. And what song is it? You know this? Room Service.
Room Service. Okay. Yeah. All right. I almost put that up there, but I didn't. Now my number 10. I put this here. It's like, it's like a Kiss song that, it's the rock and roll national anthem, rock and roll night party every day. Now the only reason why I put it here, I mean, it's a good song. Don't get me wrong, but is it my top 10 Kiss song? Probably not. But I had to put it in here because I think that was the first. I heard this song when the live version came out. They released it as a single and they put it on the radio, and that's when I first got into Kiss. So I heard that song. And then I went to our local variety store, Circus Magazine. The inside back cover was the front cover of Kiss Alive. And I was like, ooh, this looks pretty cool. And then I went to our record store and I picked up the album. And it was, from there on out, I was a huge fan. So I got Rock and Roll All Night as my number 10.
Well, I listened to Rock and Roll All Night when it was on the Dress to Kill album. Cause I got
the live version is much better.
But when I first got the live version, when I first saw that the live version had Rock and Roll All Night, that's the first song I went to. That's the one song I knew.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it's a lot more dynamic.
Yeah.
So,
what's your number 9?
The next, number 9, ties in with the Ace Frehley's theme, and it's a cover. And he already knows what song this is. Ace Frehley sang it.
2000 Man.
2000 Man, Rolling Stones cover, which was really surprising because it's from 2000 Man is from their Satanic Majesty's Request.
Right.
And maybe not a big album that people are covering songs from. So when I saw Kiss do it, and I liked their version, it was good.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but on his later, on his Origins one where he did cover songs, he did Jumpin' Jack Flash and Street Fighting Man also.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
go back
go
and
check that out.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so my number 9, I had a really hard time picking between these two songs, and these two songs kind of have the same vibe to me, Kiss songs. So I had to put them a tie for number 9. I know I got an extra song in here, but it's Mr. Speed off of Rock and Roll Over and Anything for My Baby off of Dress to Kill. They both have that same, like, foot tapping, like, kind of vibe to it. And, both of them songs were, it's not, they don't play them live. I don't think I've ever seen them play these songs live or anything. I wish they would. Maybe on the Kiss Cruise they did. I don't know. But I had to put these two songs as a tie for number 9 for me. So.
For me, my number 8, and again, he's more the deep tracks Kiss fan. I'm more the popular stuff. So for me, number 8 is Flamin' Youth, and I believe Ace Frehley co-wrote that.
Okay. Flamin' Youth. Yeah, that was yeah. Well, that's off of Destroyer, right?
Yep.
All right, so my number 8 is the title track off of Creatures of the Night. It was a kick-ass song. It was a I believe it was right. I think Creatures of the Night came out right after music from the Elder. Mm-hmm. So they had to go back to like kick-ass rock to save themselves from music from the Elder album.
Ace was still there in the
Yeah,
Elder?
well, put it this way, on the Elder, yeah, he played on the Elder. He
Okay.
actually sung a solo song, not a solo song.
Okay.
He actually sung a song on the Elder too. Dark Light, I think it was. Remember, you used
Yep.
to teach me about it. So I don't know how much Ace played on Creatures of the Night because they put his picture there, but I think Vinnie Vincent played most of the lead on there,
Okay.
but they didn't reveal it at the time. But
Right.
anyway, Creatures of the Night is the first track off an album. They had to come back with kick-ass rock and roll, and that's my number 8.
So from here on out, I'm probably going to be cheesy to the Kiss fans because I'm not really an uber Kiss fan. So I'm putting the songs that I liked, and again, I liked songs later in their career a lot more than some of these that I'm listening now. But I'm playing along with the criteria. Shocked me. I mean, obviously, I had to put that in there because that was. I mean,
well, I had that in my
Yep.
other list. Yeah.
Yeah, so
okay, so
number
you got
7,
Shock.
Shock.
Okay. So my number 7 is Love Gun, title track off of Love Gun. And also, when I heard interviews with Paul, and he always says that's one or his most favorite song that he wrote for Kiss was Love Gun. And it's a really good hard rocking song.
I don't feel so cheesy.
They play it live all the time, and
It's my
okay.
number
It's number
3.
3. It's my number 7. So
Yeah. So number 6, I Stole Your Love.
that's my number 1.
Okay.
I love that song. That's my favorite Kiss song.
All right, there we go.
My favorite Kiss song. I don't know why. I just like that song. It kicked off Love Gun, and it was just, I don't know. It just hit me.
Yep.
And they actually, when they did the Love Gun tour, they opened with "I Stole Your Love" instead of "Detroit Rock City,"
Oh, okay.
which I like too. My number 6 song is I'm almost positive it's on your list. It's Black Diamond off their first album. You don't have Black Diamond on your list.
It's my number 1,
Oh, okay.
but there's a criteria.
Okay. Yeah, the live version.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway.
Come on, you have to be the live version.
Yeah,
too.
it's the live version,
I even
but
have
it's-
it written there live.
Right. Well, Rock and Roll All
Yeah.
Night was the live version over the studio version too. But yeah, Black Diamond, kick-ass song. They used to end their shows with it when earlier Kiss shows in the 70s. They ended with the Peter Criss's drum rose up, and he had all the sparkles and the flames and stuff like that.
When I first got when I got Kiss Alive back in the day, that's probably the one song that I almost wore out. I love that song. So.
And another thing with Black Diamond was Kiss did a midnight special in 1975, and they played like 3 or 4 songs or whatever. So the last song they did on Midnight Special was Black Diamond. At the end of the song, Peter Criss kicks over his whole drum set at the end and throws it down. I don't know if the rest of the members of Kiss knew he was going to do that, but all the smoke's coming up and he's kicking his drums back and pushing them, and so that was pretty badass back in the day.
So my number 5 song is Christine 16.
Oh my God. That's such a cheesy freaking song.
I said it's going to be cheesy.
Oh my God.
I just like that
I'm
song.
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their opinion of stuff.
Well, like I said, I'm not
but
the
I
deep-track Kiss fan.
I didn't expect Christine 16 to be in your top 10.
Hey.
I'm shocked.
You're going to be singing
You
the
shocked,
rest of it.
you shocked me.
Yes. And
But
was
you
the-
didn't make me feel better though.
No.
So we're at number 5 now, right?
Yes.
My number 5 is Strutter. Well, off the first album, but like a lot of these songs off their first 3 albums, I get into off the live album, and then you go back and then you listen to it. But Strutter's a great Kiss song for me.
Number 4, I'm going to take the cheese one step further.
Oh my God.
Calling Dr. Love.
Wow. Okay.
Again, I'm not a deep track.
I could see that in the top 10, but you're not as your number what? 3? I'm on number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, as your number 4. Okay.
But again, if we had later Kiss albums, this list would be different.
Right. So
Songs that you hate.
okay. So my number 4 is "I Want You," first song off of Rock and Roll Over. Love that song. It starts out slow, and then it kicks in, and it's oh my God.
That's on the first album. Okay.
No, "I Want You" is off Rock and Roll Over.
Oh, okay.
"I Want You" is the first song on Rock and Roll
Okay.
Over. It's the first
All right.
first track off of Rock and Roll Over. Yeah, "I Want You." That's a great song. What's your number 3?
Well, my number 3 we already discussed was Love Gun.
Okay.
So if you want to give me your number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 is now I'm going to get a little cheesy with this one.
Okay.
It sure knows something off of Dynasty. It's like a poppy kind of song that he did. I wouldn't call it disco-y, but it was more on the lines of like a poppy kind of song. And it should have. I mean, because it was a Kiss song, it didn't really go high in the charts. but it's a great song, and it should have went like top 5 when it came out, but because it's Kiss, of course they didn't, they discriminated against them back then because they wore makeup. They didn't think they were good because they wore makeup, and that's all he did. But if you really listen to their music, and we actually converted Bill, who we used to do Friday Night Vinyl with, he was like, "Oh, Kiss, I'm not," he never wanted to participate. And then when we did, I did a top 15 list, and we had to dwindle it down to 5, right?
Right.
So I put a top 15 Kiss songs together, and after Bill listened to that, I converted him. Then he went to go see them live, and he said, like Paul Stanley's like one of the best frontmen he's ever seen live. So Bill was a convert.
So we already covered my number 1, but this is my number 2. So this will be my last contribution here.
Well, it better be my number 2.
Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just
you got to put that in there.
Even if you're not a Kiss fan, you gotta like that song.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just. I mean, it's like Rock and Roll Night's kind of anthem. It's almost like the Twist. I mean, obviously Rock and Roll Night came first, but it's like the Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it.
Right.
It's just a song. Hey, I want to rock and roll night and party every day.
Right.
But Detroit Rock City is just one of those songs that, and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones covered it. That was really
that was a great cover of that song too. Yeah. And my number 1 was "I Stole Your Love," and we already covered our number 1. So that's our personal favorite.
So behind us, you want to
Oh yeah.
tell a little story about this.
So there's a story about this. So Ace did a lot of signing events, right? So there was I don't know, maybe 2019, maybe. I got the sign. So in Oaks, PA, they have All Things That Rock convention, right? So Ace was there signing, right? So I actually bought this poster. I actually bought 3 of these, and I got 3 of them signed. And my friend Mike Smith, who watches Friday Night Vinyl, or used to when we were doing our shows, or Schmitty as we know him. So he came with me. So he was in line with me, right? And so we get up to Ace, and I asked Schmitty to hold my coat and stuff because I wanted to show Ace where I wanted to get the sign, and Ace signed this one like right here. I don't know if you could see it that good, but it's signed by Ace right here, and he put his Ace card, drew his Ace card like he normally does. So as we're standing there and he signed it, Ace, he's wearing sunglasses, he's sitting down behind the table, and he looks up at Schmitty and goes, "Can you move? You're in my light," right? So Schmitty was like, he got so pissed off. He goes, "Them other humpers wearing sunglasses, and he's telling me I'm in his light." The whole ride home, he was, and I was his favorite Kiss guy at the time. Like I love Paul Stanley, he loved Ace Frehley.
And that just leads me into something else because, okay, and this is not speaking ill of the dead or anything like that, but everybody I knew musically who had a little tie with Ace talked about the difficulty working with him, meaning, shows and things like that. I mean, it wasn't a high volume. It was maybe 2 other people. But seeing a lot of the tributes come in, and I even seen a tribute from one of the places where I know there was an issue, but they made it sound nice. It painted a different, because when we went to this and I heard about this, he was a bit of a curmudgeon, and then I'm seeing all the things with his infectious laugh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like a man laugh. It was like,
But I mean, I went to like 3 or 4 events that I got Ace to sign stuff, and I never found him like that.
Yeah.
I started a conversation with him, and he wasn't standoffish at all. He would talk.
Cool.
He would talk to you, and as long as you talk music, and like one time I knew he had a solo album coming up, and so I started talking about that.
Right.
He told me about things like that. He'll talk to you.
Right.
Like something related to him or Kiss or whatever.
Right.
So
my only Kiss interaction was with Paul Stanley. That's it.
that was Peter Criss. Wasn't it?
No,
That's right.
yeah.
Paul Stanley. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost Peter Criss. Well, this is an Ace Frehley tribute, so
Right.
let's limit it to Ace.
But again,
So anyway, since this is an Ace tribute, I went along and looked up. Ace. He influenced a lot of guitar players that came after him, right? So so some of the people who credited Ace for picking up a guitar, I saw Ace play and I picked up the guitar. Slash from Guns N' Roses was one. In fact, Slash actually, after Ace left the band, he actually auditioned for Kiss, but he was only like 15 or 16 years old at the time,
Right.
and he was a little bit young. Before they went with Vinnie Vincent, right after Ace Frehley left. John Five's a huge Kiss fan. Now I didn't know this about John Five, because he was a big Ace Frehley fan actually. He was with he started out, but His earliest thing I can find that he was with the David Lee Roth band. He toured with when he went solo. David Lee Roth
Okay,
solo.
interesting.
Marilyn Manson, he was
That-
in.
that I knew
right?
that, yeah.
Rob Zombie, and then currently he's with Motley Crue.
Right, where he belongs. I
Yeah,
think.
John Five. Yeah, he has that white hair, but I've seen a lot of different shows where he goes on and plays riffs of different songs and stuff. He's really good. Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, huge Ace Frehley fan.
Yeah, and was buried in a Kiss coffin.
Yeah, Mike McCready from Pearl Jam, a huge Ace Frehley
Yeah,
fan.
I told Marie that Pearl Jam did a Kiss tribute on
Yeah,
that page.
yeah, and Tom Morello
I was
from.
going to say, better have him on that.
And Tom Morello's Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
And he's the one who introduced them at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Yep.
ceremony too. So there's, just to name a few, I'm sure there's a lot more out there that name Ace Frehley as an influence. But
So we're gonna wrap this up. So
Yeah.
my only thing to say here is, look, I know Kiss wasn't everybody's cup of tea, and I think sometimes, like Lenny said earlier, the makeup and all that stuff kind of
turns people off.
They were just a regular good rock and roll
But if
band.
you listen to their music, you would get it. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't just because they were flashy and makeup that they were popular. If it wasn't for good songs,
and
you know,
and we kind of like look at it as like this is one of the 4 original members of the band.
the first one to go.
And I know there's a lot of Kiss fans out there who really took it to heart. And hey, unfortunately, as we get older, these things are happening. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So
So
anyway,
that's it. That's our tribute to Ace and,
Yeah.
and his time.
and hopefully
with
we're
Kiss.
not doing. I'll probably do another top 10 next week, but hopefully it's not because of this situation.
Right,
So
right.
everybody have a great rest of your week, and please like the post when you're watching the video. So the more likes it gets, the more people it goes out to
Right.
in our group.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Probably should have said it in the beginning because
Take
nobody
care.
gets to the end.